Okay folks, this will be an interesting one. Since yesterday we've started getting plenty of sunshine, especially today. Going to get hot, perhaps, don't know, didn't watch the weather. But anyway, we're trying to do something really interesting in this one. I don't know how we're going to make it look any good. It's going to be a challenging one. Maybe we'll keep it at 100 for now. Yeah, we're going to be running low on yellow toner pretty soon, I suspect. So hopefully we can get through today with what we have. Holidays are nearly over. Let's see what we're going to photocopy. So the holidays are nearly over. I'm going back to work tomorrow, which is the 11th of January. Anyway, we've got here this thing. We have here a love heart shaped cushion. I'm just going to hold it up, put it up here, just for you folks to see. And it's got the word love in there. It's really easy to just dislodge the sequins. When I purchased this, and they were trying to, and it's got the label still attached to it. Fuck, I hate that. I forgot to take the label off. But basically, yeah, this is just one of those sequined, two-tone sequined cushions. It's a shame I've got the tag still affixed, but we're going to give it back to charity anyway. You can see there that mark there as well. I had to put the E back in the word love because when we were trying to put it in a plastic bag, it just went over the sequins. So I was a little bit disappointed because that was the reason I bought this cushion, was because the word love was emblazoned on it. So I figured that the word love. And love is something that everyone needs, and people have overlooked it. And basically, most people can't see love any further than, say, this cushion. They just see a love heart and they think they like it. A lot of people love things to do with love, like love hearts and affirmations with the word love carved in wood. And they just love the concept, but they don't actually have a life where there's actually any love. Now that looks shit house. So there's no evidence that there's any love in their lives. They're basically devoid of love. And this is just the average everyday Joe blogs, or Joanne blogs if you want to go and be female about it. So, it's like really something that's just a concept more than a fact in this life that most people just don't get. And this doesn't seem to be doing very well. I'm going to try and angle it. But basically most people just don't get it. And love is real. It's not just a concept. It's not just wishful thinking. It can be made. It can happen. Well, it can't be made, but it can happen. And I've got it the wrong way. I've got to push it further to the right, I do think. But basically, most people just don't understand love. They don't. They seem to be tied. It seems to be tied up in homewares like this cushion. It doesn't seem to be something that's actually real, and it doesn't even permeate into the most important relationships, your husband or your wife. It seems to be something that the point has been missed, and the husband and wife might spend more time bickering than having sex, having good sex, should I say. Now that looks interesting, and I've got to enlarge it vertically to get it in the centre. But basically that's looking a bit better. But basically it's really sad that love has just been overlooked. Most people, it seems, don't believe in love as well. You get those sorts of people. Wondering if we can up the contrast on this. Contrast. No, we can't do that because we've got this. We need this. Fuck, I hate these limitations on this equipment. But basically, most people just don't get it. Most people struggle with the concept of love. And philosophers talk about it too. Even my father, who's a dickhead, well, he doesn't know what love was. I asked him because I was talking about a song on the radio called What Is Love by Howard Jones. And I asked him, I was 10 years old, to do with that song, I think. I asked the words, what is love? And he said, what is love? He returned my question as an answer. So I said, what is love? And he basically said back to me, what is love? So it was a real silly conversation that Dad and I had. But it was an important one. Now that looks interesting. I think we can use this. Wondering where the centre of the job is going to be. I'm going to make it there. But basically my dad just doesn't know what love is, and he's an asshole, and I can understand why he's so stupid. He's a fucking idiot as far as I'm concerned. My father, he's an idiot. He's a bully, so bullies like him don't know. are going to be like totally desolate as to what love is. And speaking of my father, he lived in the what was the red zone of the COVID-19 crisis we've been having here in Sydney. He was living in what was the red zone, and if everything has gone to plan, the lockdown should have been lifted sometime today. So I think it was 12 o'clock last night. But I don't care about my father. I don't give a flying fuck about him. You know, he's in lockdown. That's his problem. I don't care. What would I fucking give a shit about an asshole like him? Good thing he was in lockdown. Fuck shit. Suck shit, father. You're not going to get any sympathy from me. Yeah, well, I shouldn't show that kind of resentment. It's really not healthy to do that, because I'm not showing love, and love is something that I have to learn to. I forgot to push the cushion into the glass, so I'm just going to start again. But basically, my dad has to learn, and he does philosophy classes, and his philosophy classes don't seem to teach anything useful. Oh, I forgot to put the second one. But basically my dad's classes don't teach him real practical philosophy. It's meant to be practical, but it doesn't extend to me. He hates me. He treats me like shit, you know, when we get too close. So I've decided to put a barrier between him and I until such time as I go to air on television and he has to say fucking sorry for being such a dick, for hating my creative art, this photocopier stuff that I do. I just want fucking apology, you know. I just want closure. I want to forgive him as well, to be honest, folks. I'm not interested in holding a grudge for life. Oh, that's like these cushions. This cushion's been pushed in by hand so that each piece isn't going to fit exactly like it normally would, being a mirror image. So I'm just going to line these up pretty well. It looks very minimalist. I'm wondering if there's a better way of doing this, if we're going to make a switcheroo. But basically my father just has to learn to be a caring person, you know, and that's really something I've never seen much. I mean, sure, he gave us good Christmas and birthday presents. Yeah, sure, but it's not good enough. You know, you got to show the true love for your children, and I was never brought up with that. It was not in my family period to be brought up with love. I discovered love pretty much on my own, folks. When I was in a very low point in my life, it came to me. But yeah, that looks a bit better. I'm thinking maybe not. I think now we can call this demo quits.